Well, today's another nice day. I wasn't going to do anything today, but yesterday I was over at the farm picking pears on the grafted pear trees from and I decided today I could go over there. I found some sprouts from the rootstock coming up that I can graft next year. And there's some weeds and brush that need to be cleaned up. So I'm gonna take some tools over there and some other things that I might need to clean up the area a little bit, and just to make the area more friendly for the pears trees. Okay. And to do that, I need to get a few supplies here and prepare a little bit. First thing I do is find a couple sacks, because I want to take some old grass clippings, because I want to do some mulching around the trees that I'm going to graft probably next year. And I got a couple sacks here. I'm going to dump out the net wrap that I collected from the hay bales I feed. So I'm going to dump them in the burning pile first. I'll burn that some other time. I got 2 empty sacks I can put some grass clippings in that I might need for mulch. There's another cow on the back side of that bale there eating. That means there's one missing. Oh, there, I see it. She's over there. She's eating the tops, the seed heads off of these, I call them sticker weeds, the dark green ones. Yeah, they're thorny plants. But the seed heads don't have any thorns on them, so they can eat those seed heads off. Yeah, and it's called spiny amaranth. Yeah. Yeah, they won't eat the rest of the bush because there's too many thorns. And I looked up this here, these weeds here growing here, and they were all growing down in there before I mowed them all down with the lawnmower over time. That's called, I don't know why I couldn't remember it, ragweed. Yeah, that's that ragweed. Yeah, it's all drying up now though, because it was so dry. Anyway, let me get the truck and load it up and head over to the farm again today and do some work around the pear trees. Clear some brush and prepare the trees for grafting next year. Some small ones that I found yesterday. There's the cattle are down there eating hay and out of my way. I'm going to go ahead and open up that gate so I can drive right through with the truck up to the barn, get what I need from the barn, and then head over to the farm to work around the pear trees. Okay, I think I'm ready to drive around to the barn to get a few things. I'm gonna check the tools I get first. I got some tools loaded, but I'm gonna take a look at them out in the sunlight where I can see them. Let's drive around a little bit. Get the truck lined up. To go into the back. Okay. Let's take a look at the tools I'm going to take with me. Sun's hot today. Well, I got a couple buckets there. I'm going to get some manure out of the barn to put around the plants I'm going to graft next year. Gives them a little extra energy. I got a couple bags here for some grass clippings I can put around them for mulch. I got a shovel in case I need. I got a hole for clearing some the weeds around the trees I'm going to mulch and graft next year. I got a weed whacker here, over here. That's, I call it a weed whacker or side cutter. You can use that for cutting some weeds. I got a rake just in case I need it, leaf rake, to rake up anything I want to rake up. And then I got this brush cutter. Broke the handle a long time ago, but I glued it back together and tied it together, and hopefully it'll hold up. Cut some of the bigger stuff. And I got a draw knife too. I got a plan for that. I'll see if it works. If not, I can use this brush cutter, see if that'll work. Anyway, I'm going to head to the barn now and get some grass clippings, old grass clippings, and get some manure. Yeah. Oh, sure it's hot today. I thought it was supposed to be cooler today. The sun's pretty hot. Cattle are still down there eating. Okay. There's supposed to be rock underneath this grass, but I think I'm just gonna pull in. Be done with it. Okay. Let's get some grass and old manure too. First thing is grass clippings. Grass clippings are on a wagon in the barn. I got them last year when the cattle were out at the big pasture. I was mowing this orchard area, saving the grass. There's the grass clippings. Oh, I just remembered something. I gotta get something else before I head over there. Besides this grass, 2 bags of grass clippings, and I'm gonna get a couple buckets of manure now too, and something else. There's the pear trees that I grafted over at the farm, and while they were still small, I transplanted that one first, and then later on I got that one. Yeah. So that one's a little bit older. And I trimmed this last year, trimmed the tops off, and they already grew back to the same height they were before I trimmed them, so I'll have to cut them off again this year. But the pears didn't have any pears on the new growth from this year, but next year they would. So maybe I'll wait. Maybe I won't trim them. I'll see what happens. I know what's going to happen if they get pears on them, which they probably will if they bloom. Those pears are going to be so heavy for those little branches, they're going to drag it down. But I'm going to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I was going to trim them off again, but I want to see what happens to them. Yeah, if they bend down and break off, I'll just trim them off anyway. So we'll see. See what happens. I got a couple buckets I want to fill up with some old manure. The oldest manure is right there, and it's not covered up with all this hay. So I'll go ahead and get a couple buckets from that area there. I think 2 buckets will be enough for what I need to do. Okay, that part's done. Okay, I almost got everything. I just remembered I got to get a few more items before I can leave over to the farm. Okay, I got to drive back up to the house and get a few more things. Don't want to run back into the pond now, do I? Okay, I'm good. Okay. Oh boy. What's up, Mama Cat? Is there a hose on the ground? Oh, shoot. I ran over the hose twice. I'll come back later and close the gate. I forgot to disconnect that hose. Hope I didn't make no holes. I hope I didn't make no holes. Okay. I'll leave it parked here. Get a few more things. I'll need these 3 fence posts and 3 yellow poles to go over top of them to mark where the trees I'm going to graft will be, so nobody will cut them down before I can graft them. I'm ready. I'm ready to head to the farm, even though I'm sweating. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be that hot today, but it is, because the sun's shining bright. Yeah, the sun's bright today. Here's a little breeze, which helps. I think almost the middle of October. This is unusual for October, I think. Well, let's head to the farm and go back to the grafted pear area on the farm and get some work done there. Well, I'm back to the farm, and I gotta head over there to the pear, I guess you call it pear orchard, where the pears are. Okay. I'm going to work on the left side too, over here. I'm going to clear out some of that brush, and I got some other work to do over there around some small rootstock that's sprouted up, growing. I can graft next spring. So let's get started. What to do first? I got a few things spread out. Got a bucket of dirt or soil, manure, and a bag of grass seed. There's a little tree I got to preserve. So I got a post and a yellow pole to mark it. I got the shovel and the hoe there to scrape around it and put manure around it and put the thing there. So you can give a little extra nutrition. I probably won't graft that one next year. It's going to be too small, but maybe the year after. I got some, I want to work on that brush through there a little bit, as much as I can. But I got some tools over there for that. I might even work on them trees. I'm still thinking about that. That's a little tree I got to preserve till it gotta let it get a little bit bigger. This trunk is not big enough for grafting. It might take a couple of years for it to get big enough, but I'm going to help it with some manure and some mulch around it, and a post with a yellow pole to mark it. There's 2 trees there I can graft next spring. One bigger one down farther, and one up here a little bit farther than that, a little up the hill, which is smaller, will be easier to graft from the materials that I got available to me here on the ends of these. And then under these pear tree limbs. Anyway, yeah, I got my 2 poles, and I got a bucket of soil and some bag of grass. I'm going to scrape the grass and dirt around to keep it clear around the trees. Easier to work with next spring. But mostly I got to clear out some of this brush. I got some suckers that are coming up from this tree. Cut them off from the rootstock. I got an old oak stump back there that I cut off years ago. It sprouted back, so I got to cut that back through there. I got another one over here. Got to cut that out. I don't think I'm going to go too far back, but I'm going to clear out some of this stuff just to make it easier to see what's going on in there. Chopped out some of this stuff too. Yeah. But first, I want to try something. I brought some tools. I want to try something on that tree first. I want to see what I can do on this trunk. Right about here. See what I can do. Well, I used a draw knife to shave all the bark off till I got down to the actual wood. I don't feel like cutting it down, so I'm just going to shave the bark and strangle it. It'll still sprout out from the lower part, but I can always trim them off, just like I'm going to do over there. I'm going to cut them off too. Not that, that's a pear tree there. Cut some pears on it, but that's an old oak stump down in there that sprouted out again. I'll have to maintain this better during the summer. Kind of let it go this year. Anyway, one's done, one's done. I'm going to cut these branches off with my handsaw. Okay, there's a stump. Had a bunch of sprouts coming out of it. I cut them off, laid them all over there. On to the next one. I gotta clear some of these limbs around and clear some of this brush out of the way. I can see a rose bush in there. I'm gonna cut that down. I'll use my brush cutter for that. I still got that tree sprouts to cut off, but I'll get that later. I want to work on this tree. I just cut it off enough so I can get my head under there. Okay, I gotta go in there. I'm not going to make as long of a bark removal over there, just a little bit, just enough so it won't grow back. There's all the limbs I piled up. I still got there's a bunch of multiflora rose vines in there, if you can call them vines. This one here is a long one. It's a dead one, but I drug it out of there. I don't know what, it was dead though. Somebody had cut it off, but it was pretty long. It must have been growing on a tree, because it was all dead though. And once I get done, I'm gonna cut this up and throw it all back into there. This too, I'm gonna throw all this back into there too. But first I gotta cut these rose bush out. I can't even walk in there. Then I can cut the bark off the tree, one step at a time. Okay, now I just gotta decide where to take the bark off. Here or up there. It'd be easier up high. Yeah, I think I'll do it up high. I can always cut the branches off as they grow. I cut those off. Cut all the rose bushes off around here. And a little bit around. And an oak tree was growing back there with a bunch of stems, limbs. Okay, let's work on this one now. I'll start with my draw knife. If that don't work, I'll use my bush knife or brush cleaner, brush cutter. That was the easy one. That's going to be the hard one. I don't even know if I can do it. I might wait a couple days, rest up, let it work for my arms and shoulders before I go back to the house, because the sun's getting low, probably around 5 o'clock. My brother cut some of these trees down, I guess last year or last winter. I'm going to go ahead and trim them up a little bit more. Finished cutting this 1, 2, 3 trees, stumps that were sprouting out again. My niece just came over here and collected a few pears. She wanted to know how, she wanted to learn how to graft, but I said I won't be grafting that until next spring. So I'll show her then. There's a name for that, taking the bark off. What do they call that? I forgot. Anyway, took the bark off of there and that one. I'll do the big one later. I'm too tired. That'll be a big job. You could see on the bottom where I tried to do it a long time ago with an axe. Yeah, but I didn't do a big enough area, and then it grew back. Yeah, it grew back. I'll do it a little higher up this time. It's going to be a hard job though. Anyway, until that, but I got everything cleared that I wanted cleared. Next year I'll keep it sprayed with weed killer. Now I'm ready to prepare this plant here. Remove all the weeds from around it, and then put some like old manure, topsoil, whatever you call it. Put it around it, and then cover that up with the mulch, the grass clippings. Help it grow a little bit better for next year until it's big enough to sprout to graft. Got some manure on the bottom, and I got a layer of grass and a yellow stake to mark it. Let's move on to the next two. 6 p.m. and I'm getting close to be running out of sunlight. I'll just finish these two. I'm going to prepare around this one and around that one, trying to remove some of that grass. Then I'm going to put some soil around them. Then cover it up with grass, and then stake them with a yellow pole so nobody cuts them out. Now for the grass clippings, we're going to smooth out the level off the grass clippings first. Okay, they're ready for grafting next spring. There's a lot of pears out here. I already picked these. These pears drug the branches down. It's about 6:15 p.m. and I'm out of time. Sun's going down, and I'm tired, so I'm headed home. I'll go back some other day, do a little bit more work out here. Yeah, I'm gonna graft that tree and that tree next year, next spring. This here is the old original tree, pear tree. It's only a thin, it's like a bark holder, making everything grow. Still got some life on it. The pears are kind of small, but it's surviving. It's surviving. Sun's getting low. That's the other one I'm going to graft, but I gotta let that grow up to get a little bigger. Get a proper graft. Stem is trunk is too small right now. Give it another year, and I'll probably be able to graft it again. So not next year, but the year after. The old tree, the mother of all these others. Another battery, and running out of daylight too. Oh, at least I got a sunset out of it. I got something done over here. That's good. Here's my niece's house. And there's my parents' house. My brother lives there currently. Okay, I'm ready to head home now. For a while there, I thought I was seeing a double sun. Huh. I think it was just reflecting off of a cloud. That's it. Headed home. Sun's going down right now. Well, I'm losing my daylight. I cleaned some brush. I removed the bark off of 2 oak trees. I come back with a big tree some other time. And I marked the 3 small pear trees, the sprouts from the rootstock. I plan to graft 2 of them way back there next spring, and the one up front here in a couple years when it gets big enough. Okay, let's head home. I'm done. Hayfield's on the left. It's too dark to see anything. Guess I better turn my headlights on now. Okay, how do you tell I got the lights on? Halfway home. I'm already at the crossroads, or will be, and I gotta turn left to go home. Almost home now. I'm home, and I just remembered something as I was pulling up. I forgot to close that gate when I left. Luckily, I think I saw the cows down in the bottom with their hay bale, or somewhere down there, so I can close it now. Lucky for me, the cattle stayed down here all day. While I was over at the farm, 1, 2, 3 Highlanders, the bull, white bull, no, black or dark bull is over there. So they're all here. Luckily they didn't come up to the top because I left the gate open. And if that gate's open and the other gate's open around the house, north side of the house, they would have got onto the road. But I was lucky. Yeah, I was so concerned about running over the hose, I forgot to come back and close the gate. Yeah, I forgot to unhook the hose. So that means I ran over it twice. There and there. I can close it now, and I'll worry about the hose when I need to use it again. Yeah, it's getting dark now. But the gate's closed, so everything's back to normal. I got something done over at the pear orchard at the farm. I got a little bit more work to do on that big tree. And I guess I want to pick some more pears before they all fall off. I got to pick some off the ground too for the cattle. I still got a bucket to feed them. I got a bucket from yesterday. I'll feed them tomorrow. Somewhere. Probably up here if I can see them up here. I'll feed them up here. It's easier for me. There's a cat. I don't see the kitten. I'm sure he's around here somewhere. Okay. That's it for another day. See what I can do tomorrow, if anything. We'll see.